Engelman Theater in Northport, they have a theater troupe, and they do Schoolhouse Rock, because my 6th grade son did a school trip there about last month, and it was really good. It was really, really well done with all those songs and everything.
My girlfriend works over there.
And I know Michael Anthony, who on this station, has had the guy who wrote all those songs, because the guy who wrote those songs was a folk singer of some. No, he's still alive.
Okay.
Usually, you're right. Anyone Michael Anthony interviews dies. It just happens. Yeah. In fact, on the day he interviews them. Yeah. So. 516-572-7440, 516-572-7440. That is the number call. Would love to hear what's on your mind. But Conjunction Junction, I think, is my favorite. But
that's my favorite.
Bill is my favorite too.
It's good.
In the 90s, during that grudge power pop era, there was they did groups like Belly and groups like that. Material Issue. They did a Schoolhouse Rock album, so you should seek it out, because there's some pretty good rock versions of those songs.
Speaking of 90s remakes, I heard Blue's Clues is supposed to come back with John Cena. Who was supposed to be?
John Cena.
That would, first of all...
Speaking of memes...
First of all,
guy is it's amazing how he's just broken out but
he's doing exactly the same thing The Rock did. This is what these guys do.
But you won't see Rock doing what Cena does in terms of, have you seen Cena's commercial? It's like it's done by the ad council, and it's all about accepting everyone as an American, whether you're gay, straight, this, that, the other, the whole thing. It's like you won't see Rock get involved in that, but
because
Cena
he hasn't been behind it for the whole time.
That's right.
Cena has.
Yeah. Yep.
So. Back to the Odell thing. I think there's a lot of stakes here.
They can make him a transition player, right? They can do all that.
Forget the transition. I say get rid of this guy and trade him. But if the Giants trade Odell before the trade deadline, you can bet your sweet Bippy that they are drafting a quarterback.
I would.
That's what it means.
If I'm Gettleman,
right?
I would. And it's funny because I thought that Gettleman was, when he left and went to the Panthers, I thought he was a terrible GM who now that I realize how bad that owner of the Panthers was, it's like, okay, Gettleman was fine. But I trade him before the draft, so I have more first-round picks, and the Giants have more depth to get what they need.
Because they'll get a first-rounder this year. They'll get a second or third-rounder next year.
Yep.
It's a worthwhile deal, and you might even be able to get a player for it. I saw a trade somewhere, like a speculated trade. And this is, look, I don't think they would ever do this, but if they did, the Chargers giving them their first-rounder this year, their fourth-rounder a year after, and throwing them Keenan Allen.
Do the Giants and the Chargers ever make trades?
They do. I've never heard of one. Is there a big one that you know about?
It would be the trade it was the trade that brought Eli, and the trade that would make him go away, right?
But I'm serious. I think it would make perfect sense. Now, having said that, LA is a place that Beckham loves going. Anytime he has an off day, he's always in LA.
And he lives there. I mean, they wouldn't be screwing him over by sending him there. They'd be doing a great,
regardless of who he plays for, because they would be well better for having him. The Chargers are not far off from contending.
I don't know that the Giants even need a wide receiver at that point, because Shepard is good. Evan Engram is a tight end, but
here's the difference.
They might get themselves Saquon Barkley.
Here's the difference, though. When Keenan Allen isn't hurt, he's, in my mind, from what I've seen from him, he's a top 10 receiver.
Yeah, I agree.
He's that good.
And I also hope that these teams that pick top 3, and the Jets are 3, right? Giants,
yes, they are.
Do not go for Bradley Chubb. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a great player.
He's going to be a great player, but you don't draft defensive ends right there.
Yeah,
it's just, you can't make your fans happy. Look what I got you guys.
They keep saying
Texans, Mario Williams, you're right. Yeah.
They've always had him going to the Colts.
Which makes sense.
Always has him going to the Colts.
But now he's not. I mean, maybe he might still
be there.
We know the Giants love down linemen. I mean, that's what they always draft. But you cannot pick. And Chubb's talent is so he's going to be a 10-year starter plus whatever. But you can't take him number 2 or number 3. You just can't do it. It's just not. It's not.
But I mean, they were talking about taking that kid Nelson in a top 5 pick. I mean, come on.
We're seeing what happened. What happens every year. Forget what March, February. As soon when the rubber hits the road, when all of a sudden late April comes and the draft's held, it's quarterbacks.
Yeah,
no matter what happened, it's quarterbacks. There's going to be at least 5. Lamar Jackson has nothing to worry about. He's going to be drafted.
And his stock
it's going to be at least 5.
So now they moved him up to.
Well, he'll be late. I think he'll be late.
No, before they were saying Saints. Now they actually have him going in the middle to the Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals.
I just don't know where you. I guess it's eye of the beholder where you put Is Darnold better than Rosen? Is Rosen better than Darnold? Where's Josh Allen come into it?
Rosen's coach came out.
Yeah, and said Darnold is better or something.
He said,
no, he didn't say Darnold's better. He said that he felt like Darnold will be better for Cleveland.
Yeah, that's what he said. And he said Rosen will be better for New York. Which is what he said. Caller, you're on Sports Talk.
Whichever New York team has.
Hello, Dave.
It's amazing, though, if you're a GM, the smartest thing you should do is pick a quarterback. This way, if there's a problem or he doesn't make it, you can, basically relegate him as a backup.
Exactly. You were never a GM never loses his job for picking a quarterback.
Right.
A GM does lose his job for picking a non-quarterback, and that's what you do.
You call the owner the night before and go, "What do you think?" And then you let the owner think he knows what he's talking about. So that's a metaphor for life, guys.
I mean, I don't know what to make. Who's better, Darnold, Rosen? Is it Josh Allen, the guy from Wyoming? Is it
Josh Allen looks better on the West Coast.
So now, and that's the thing, and that's exactly it. What system does he go to? If you get I
think Allen works better.
There are guys who, if they go to the wrong system, they're done. If they go to the wrong team, they're done. They don't have an offensive line, they're done.
That is the key right there. Defensive lines and schemes have become so complicated that and again, if you're a young man in high school and if you're a big guy, do you want to be an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman?
Defensive lineman.
Of course. I mean, who wants to stand there and get pounded the whole time?
Well, that's why offensive linemen love the run, hate to pass. Right. Because when you're blocking on the run, you're pushing out. When you're blocking on the pass, you got to stand up and hold these guys back. It hurts.
And don't forget, the defensive lineman is moving forward, where your knees are in a very vulnerable position. You have no idea who's falling behind you, whether it be the quarterback or running back. And I don't. Well, again, it's like chess. You have to have both sides.
Yeah. And it's just that one of those things when you're picking top three, and as deep as, and this is a huge. I think there's going to be starters in the first 3 rounds of this draft. There's so many good players coming out of college that the top 3 are going to be speculative choices of quarterbacks, and you just got to pick your. Right. And if you're the Browns, whoever you pick is going to be bad.
Right, and you lost.
I don't know.
Unless you're Tristan.
I don't know.
But at least That's the beauty of life, and again, you've lost your best offensive lineman, and again, it all comes down to young quarterbacks behind lines that are less. Again, I would hate to put a young person behind the Giants' offensive line. I mean, that would be. It would actually horrible.
Justin Pugh is going to be in the Cardinals now, right? Is that what
he gets to protect Sam Bradford.
Think about this: the Browns get to make themselves a once in a lifetime, well, actually once every year, quarterback pick, first overall, and their left tackle retires.
Yep.
Right? Joe Thompson's like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I'm done.
When the Browns start making confident moves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very weird. It was very strange.
At some point, don't you just throw your hands in the air and go, why?
You look at your bank book and say, I'm good for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Joe Thomas is going to go into the Hall of Fame, and they'll look at, career record, the team of his record, will be 3-97, some crazy number. Though, speaking of Ohio and Cleveland, because I never say the name of the Washington football team, Jim Tomei, who's going into the Hall of Fame as a Cleveland Indian,
not the chief Wahoo,
has requested to just have the C on the hat.
Yeah, just
they will not have the Wahoo.
Wow.
Yeah,
not
and Major League Baseball said fine.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! I mean, guys, we got to stop this stuff. I mean, you look at a gentleman like Rusty Staub who passed away today, and you talk about one player that actually, and I'm talking about longevity of careers and stuff like that, and what your living legacy should be. Who cares what team you played for? You go in there with
Rusty. And here's the thing, and I've talked about this for 20 years. Rusty Staub would have been Rusty Staub retired with 2,716 hits. He would have been a Hall of Famer if he had stayed in the American League with the Detroit Tigers or whomever. He was with the Tigers and been a DH. He would have been He would have had 3,000 hits and would have been a Hall of Famer. Instead, he loved New York so much where he became a pinch hitter for the National League Baseball team in New York, because he was Mr. New York. But all he needed was 2 good years, and he would have had his 3,000 hits.
Isn't it amazing, when you look at the way he, went up on the bat as far as holding the bat high? There are not batting coaches that are trying to teach somebody that wants to stay in the league. Watch Rusty Staub. He would go up on the bat, and he would learn how to hit the ball with the barrel of the bat to the opposite field. And again, he wasn't the fastest of the guys, but, a double's a double.
Yeah. No, he had 2,716 hits on his own. Let alone if he had played DH for those years, that would have been an easy. Because the last 4 years with the Mets, he did nothing. He'd be a pinch hitter.
Not to mention
twice a week,
damn near 300 home runs.
Yeah, 292 home runs. Yeah, in the dead ball era, essentially.
And think about the greatest thing. He had 500 hits for 4 different teams.
Yeah. And drafted by the Houston Colt 45.
Yeah, the only player I think to ever do that.
Yep.
My dad mentioned that.
That's a really cool thing
to me today.
Think about something like that. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh boy. Again, I told you guys 3 months ago. Beckham gone, get lost. And that was when I was taking. I would have taken a 1-2. So.
Yeah, if they can, they'll get a 1 and they'll get a 2 next year. The Rams have given away so many picks; they don't even have a second this year. I think they get a first and a third this year. So you don't need a third. So you take this year's first. Because really what you need is. You need more players, and anyone in the first 3 rounds is a starter. So if you can get a couple more picks in the top of the draft, first, second, third rounds, those are more starters.
I'm hearing around draft day and maybe even draft night that the Bills is going to really try to shoot their shots with the Giants and try to make a trade to give the Giants.
For sure. The Bills want a quarterback
to get that second pick. So
if they can't get it from the Giants, I think they might try it with the Colts.
If you're the Bills, you're looking at a guy like Josh Allen who plays in Wyoming and can throw the ball in any kind of weather and you're like, Buffalo, 8 games a year. Okay, Josh Allen, come here. I mean, that's kind of what they're looking for with him.
Completion percentage against less than stellar talent was less than 60%.
He was throwing to nobody. Yeah. Josh Allen was throwing to he was throwing to wide receiver at the University of Wyoming. That is not where you go to be a wide receiver.
And I was watching an interview, and they said, who also had basically around the same type of percentage in college? Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
So it's just about the system you go to, the people you have around. Matthew Stafford came in the league and got Calvin Johnson.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That helped out a lot.
Yeah.
So it's who you have when you get there.
As long as I don't have to sign the check, I don't care. And a quick question for Yankee fans, and I've been a Yankee fan for over 50 years.
Here we go.
Is this year going to be fun or not?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's going to be fun. It's obvious.
It's championship.
The Met fans are going to have more fun than us.
Yes, we are.
You know why?
Yes, we are.
The end of the season.
What?
The end of the season.
You know
when the Yankees get so close.
I got a question for you. What's wrong with winning? Do you have a problem with winning? I really do. I gotta ask that question.
Well, it depends. Do you like winning organically, or do you like to get the big Frankensteins from?
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is the Yankees are willing to do what's necessary. The Mets are afraid to spend all that Madoff money. And
I love the fact that I'm watching the Mets game today, and behind the plate they have all the advertisements, and Amway comes up.
Right.
Haven't we learned from Ponzi schemes, Met fans?
Come on.
Nick.
But the Mets have an Amway in...
I know, it's in the building.
Yes.
It's so... If it was any more ironic, Andrew Lloyd Webber would play music over it. They have Amway in City Field.
I was an independent business owner. It's multi-level marketing, all right?
Exactly. I just arrived at a different level of the pyramid.
Guess where the pyramid ends up, guys.
That's great.
Let me ask you this, though.
Please.
So, what's your favorite game to play?
What do you mean?
Like,
can it be more? Well, huh?
No. I'm saying like video game.
Hold on, are we talking tiddlywinks or sports?
Exactly. You're gonna have
I'm
to.
talking about on your phone. Like, you play any game on your phone?
I don't play any games on my phone.
Take my wife, please.
Well, let's just
take
say
my wife, please. Take her.
Let's just say PlayStation. No. I'm saying like Candy Crush. Who plays Candy Crush?
I'm from Caspia.
I want to know where you're going with this.
Because do you play Candy Crush and try and win, or do you buy your way through Candy Crush?
Oh well, those are those free games. Like
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's like Fortnite. Fortnite is free, and kids are hooked on it. But you can do in-game purchases, in-app purchases, right? And make yourself better, higher, faster, whatever it is.
So wait, what's the point?
So he's asking, are you buying achievements and rounds on these free games?
That's
which you're not.
The same thing, Mark.
He's pretty
not the same thing.
Pretty much saying that the Yankees buy championships.
Correct. Yeah.
They're not buying championships. They're buying great players. We bought great players. We won one.
I hate when people say
that. I was at the Yankees 1996 parade before any of you guys were even born, and I was on Broadway, and some salesman goes, "Hey, do you want to buy a Yankee pennant?" I was like, just like them. I had a better line than that actually, but I said, "No thanks, they already bought one." So or something like that.
But no, you got to think about it. Would you rather Miami Heat